Hello, Apartment Therapy.
Welcome to our 750 square foot apartment in Brooklyn, New York. Initially, I was super into the mid-century modern sort of aesthetic, but I realized that it can be pretty sparse, and I actually really do enjoy the sort of more classical architecture, a little more traditional, and I also wanted to incorporate my Indian heritage. So the vibe that I was really going for is warm, inviting, lots of color, but not overwhelming.
When we moved in, I initially thought we would make this space the bedroom since it gets the most sunlight, and realized very quickly that that was a bad idea.
We saw the French doors and kind of opened them up, and it really made sense to flow the inner living room, or like TV room that we like to call it, into an outer living room that's a bit brighter, more plants, more sun, that feels more creative and productive. So we work here, I make music here, we have our meals here.
This is a great space to just hang out with people. There's a lot of seating in here, so everyone can just kind of spread out, and we can just sit around here. You know, she can get her guitar out. People will jam in here. It's a really good space for that.
I'm an music industry professional and project manager, and I'm also a singer-songwriter.
I'm an entertainment journalist. I write about the television industry for Variety. I like to write creatively in my free time, and that's kind of pretty much it for me.
This apartment gets not a whole lot of natural light. It is north facing, so it was important to me that the colors that I used felt warm even in low lighting. So you have this really saturated red rug, you have a blue couch, and a lot of colors together that may seem really primary, but because it is such lovely diffuse lighting, it makes the saturated colors sort of a little bit more mellow. So everything in this room, and honestly the apartment, has either been thrifted, gifted, or stooped. And apart from being cost effective, it's also the sort of mentality of you're keeping so many things out of the landfill. There's so many beautiful things in the world that already exist. You don't necessarily need to buy new things all the time. So my philosophy is, if I want a new piece for the home and I can't find it on Marketplace, I can't find it thrifted or secondhand, then I would go out and purchase it. These two end tables are actually from Bob White, and this coffee table almost reminds me of like one of those super expensive mid-century modern benches. So the fact that we found these are incredible. And I think Joe loves the rug, right?
Yeah, I really love this rug. I love the color. I think it gives a lot of character to this room, and I think it just ties everything together really nicely.
Yeah,
in a way that feels really good and just homey.
It's interesting that a red rug is the thing that ties things together. Yeah.
And was that thrifted too or found?
This was Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, she's a Facebook Marketplace hustler. Several different fake accounts, all just bidding against each other for different things.
Don't tell people, babe. I love rugs. What can I say? I mean, I'm Indian, and I grew up in Morocco also for some of my life. So I love Persian rugs, Kashmiri rugs, Afghani rugs. It's colder here in New York, right on the East Coast. So rugs just provide, we're gonna take that again. Why am I promoting the concept of rugs? People know why rugs exist. But yeah, I think rugs really tie a room together. So the muted pink goes with the rug here, which goes with the rug here, which then ties into the rug here, and the blue ties into the rug into the living room. So it's almost like a story of rugs going from the outermost to the innermost room. And I love them. They are my pride and joy. And I keep them very clean. Someone on Apartment Therapy on the picture said it looks like a cool grandma's house. And honestly, that made me so happy.
That's definitely your vibe.
That's my vibe, yeah. Cool grandma. Look at this dress. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is my absolute favorite part of the apartment. It wasn't actually here.
The mantelpiece.
The mantelpiece. I found her on stooping. And she was in Prospect Heights somewhere being tossed out because, I don't know, another beautiful brownstone is going through a gut renovation to make it like a museum. And they threw this out. And it's actually a super light, really beautiful hand-carved frame. It was always a dream of mine to have a mantle and decorate it. It's been an anchor. And oftentimes in a room when you're confused about how do you want to decorate it, you want that one piece to be your anchor, whether it's a couch, whether it's something that's immovable, and let that be the focal point. Everything else will come much more naturally. Welcome to the hallway. Before not too long ago, it was a space where it was just a shoe rack with shoes everywhere. But I think we've managed to turn it into something a bit more intentional. I got this beautiful Persian rug recently, and this is kind of where you enter from. So you have shoes here, but concealed. You have some hooks here for hanging, a little handy dandy station for your masks, your keys, mail. And I think the hallway game has just has improved a little bit. So essentially, this is supposed to have been the smaller second bedroom, but we thought it might be better to have the slightly smaller, but still, you know, substantial back of the apartment as our bedroom, because it's so much quieter here. And when you're in the bedroom, you want to have more of like a relaxed, cozy, a little bit lower light space. And because, again, this bedroom doesn't get as much direct light, and I'm Indian, we have a lot of really beautiful colors in here. I particularly really love this bedspread. These are called Jaipuri Razais, and these are from the Rajasthan area of India, from Jaipur. This is all hand block print, sort of, you know, natural dyes. And it's a very sort of common and ubiquitous thing in India, and I really wanted to get a few of them home. So I love that these bookends are essentially what was used to make this, and I think that ties in really beautifully together.
I also just want to show, I want to show this off.
Yeah, please do. This is such a valuable thing.
This is one of my favorite things in the whole house. So I'm a huge Mel Brooks fan. I have been since I was a kid. And by virtue of my job, I'm an entertainment reporter. I got to interview him recently for History of the World Part 2 at Hulu. And after I did the interview a few days later, I got this in the mail. And I already had a copy of it. So I was like, well, that's kind of nice. They sent me a copy of the book I already had. But then I opened it up. And there's an autograph to me from Mel Brooks. So we keep that over the bed, and I've told Abhilasha I take this out first and her second in a building burning situation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yes, but this stays right over me as I sleep.
Yeah.
This is our kitchen. It is ridiculously big by New York standards, which was a big selling point for us on this place. Also a big selling point, it came with a dishwasher.
New York apartment cabinets, everyone has this color, but this rug actually makes it feel more intentional. Like it ties the gray tile with the red cabinets kind of beautifully, because it's not a great combo, but this rug actually makes the difference.
This island, the steel one, we picked this up, but you found this on Marketplace, I think?
Found this island on Marketplace. This was actually in a nearby neighborhood, but what we didn't realize is that they were a 4th floor walk-up.
Yeah. So that was not fun.
And the stairs were about as narrow as both of us kind of smushed in together.
Yeah, we could just barely get this thing down the hallway without
So it was very much like
smacking
a
my elbows.
Ross pivot moment.
Pivot. Very hard.
What's beautiful about this home is that everything has been consciously brought into the home. It has a story, it has meaning and purpose. And I think that's what makes this sort of mishmash really work well together. Homes have always been, for me growing up, colorful, full of, you know, the smells and sounds and everything that comes with growing up in India and growing up in Delhi. And when people say now, don't be afraid to use color, it's like, well, who was afraid? It certainly wasn't me, and people, you know, and my people and where I grew up. So I'm glad to see that the sort of more mainstream, specifically in the US, are embracing colors and prints more. It's very beautiful. It always adds a different dimension to your home. And hopefully this place represents that sort of lived in grandma core energy.